All right, everybody, here we are. We've got our station set up for our ceramic pumpkins. We have a little bit of water. We have our canvas down, have a paper towel. We have our ceramic tools, our piece of clay, and this is the ceramic clay that I made yesterday. And it is already formed and ready to go. So if we're just going to do a solid pumpkin, this is what you're going to be using. Okay, or that's what you're going to be making here. All right. Now, we are going to start from scratch. Each of you have a slab of clay. So what you're going to do is you're going to take that clay, twist, and you're going to have two pieces. Okay, go ahead and set one down for a moment. And then while you are waiting to do the bottom part, we'll just set it aside. So you're going to take your thumb and we're going to make a pinch pot. I believe you've all made pinch pots before. If you have not, that is fine. You're just going to take your ball of clay in your hand, stick your thumb in the middle, and you're going to pinch. All right, so you want to make it into a bowl. You can pinch all the way around until the edges are about as thick as your pinky. Okay. You may need to keep bending it upwards so that way it actually looks more like a bowl than a flat pancake. Okay, still a little lumpy there on the side, so we might need to push some of that down. Bring some up here. All right. That looks good. We have one pinch pot bowl there, so I'm going to set that like a cone on top of our canvas here, so it looks kind of like a dome or a little hut. All right, so we've got one, set it aside. Now we're ready for side two. If you would like a stem on your pumpkin, you may want to pinch off a little piece, about like this. Pinch it off there and set it aside. I'm going to roll mine up into a little snake. Here we go. So I can have a nice stem, flatten it on the top, that way it looks kind of like a nail. I'm going to set that aside. All right, the next one that we're going to do is exactly the same. So we're basically making two pinch pots, and then we're going to put those two together. So if you want to roll yours into a ball to make it a little bit easier. If you're wearing rings or anything, you may have wanted to take those off. Of course, mine's still on because I forgot about it. So I'm going to have to really clean some clay out of that bad boy in a little bit. Okay, so we've got our sphere. Let's stick your thumb in there. We're going to squeeze it all around. Pinch, pinch, pinch. All the way around. Try to make it the same thickness throughout. Now, some of you ask me why we just can't roll a ball and throw it in the kiln. Well, here's why. The kiln will get very, very hot, okay? And you need to have all of your clay be about the same thickness all the way around. And it might not be completely dry in the center. If you just roll up a ball, it might seem dry on the outside, but if you just roll up a ball and throw it in there, it's probably going to explode in the kiln because it's a very, very high temperature in there that's going to bake our clay. So that's one of the reasons we're not going to do it. Two, then where's the fun in that? Okay, so now we have both of our pinch pots. So what we're going to do now is use a technique called slip and score. So first we're going to score it, almost like making it rough on the edges. So you can take one of your tools, you can use the knife tool or the fork tool, and you're just going to put some little scores around the edges. Now there's no need for any stabbing, no gouging the clay. You're just going to put like little scratches all the way around the edge. So you can use that fork tool, your knife tool, just nice little scratches there all the way around. Okay, so set that one back down. Again, you want to make sure it's more of a dome because you don't want a flat edge to your pumpkin yet. On both sides. All right, now to use slip, now that is a ceramic term on a very moist, wet clay. Okay, it's almost like glue. So what you're going to do is you can dip your fingers in the water. You're also going to rub that around your edge there. Okay, so we're slipping and scoring on the edges of our pinch pots. Now it's time for us to glue them together. So you're going to take both of your pinch pots, you're going to put them together kind of like they're a clam. Try to fit all the corners together as one. Okay, so it's not completely stuck together yet. So I'm going to hold it in one hand like so. And then I'm going to use my thumb and my pointer finger on the other hand and just kind of blend those together so you can't even see that line. Okay, so you're going to make it seamless, or as seamless as you can make it. You don't want to squeeze with your right hand or your dominant hand because you don't want to crush your sphere or your pumpkin, but you do want to blend in those creases there. So keep on blending. And of course, we've already talked about how pumpkins are kind of weird. They're all different shapes and sizes. Some are tall, some are short, some are skinny, some are very large, and some are even growing other pumpkins on the sides of them. So they look kind of funny. And some of them that have grown on the ground are kind of flat on one side. So if yours isn't completely perfect the way you want it, that's fine. But the great thing about clay is you can pretty much mold it to where you want it to go. So if you want to blend in all those cracks and creases there. All right, so there we have our hollow ball or our hollow pumpkin. Okay. All right, so that is just the circle or the sphere for now. We still need to add the stem. And I would like to use, let's try this tool here. First, figure out which side you want to be the top and the bottom. I'll set mine down. That seems like a good natural place or natural way for it to sit. So I'll set it down for a moment. I'm going to give you just a moment to catch up if you are still putting your pinch pots together or slipping and scoring. Just go ahead and take a moment so you can catch up. Okay, so now we're at this point. I'm going to start putting the lines in my pumpkin. Do you remember how we talked about the pumpkins have those seams or those lines in it that go from the stem all the way down the bottom to the other stem there? So I'm going to push in a little bit. I'm going to take my tool here and draw a line all the way down to the bottom. Just going to do a few of these. Just going to draw my lines in. Here we go. All the way to the bottom. All the way to the bottom. Alright, so I only have 6 lines in mine. You go ahead and put however many you'd like to in yours. From there, you're going to use your finger. I'm going to use the side of my finger and kind of blend that in and push it in a little bit on mine so it kind of smooths it out, but it still leaves that nice line there. Okay. Also going to smooth these little cracks out. Looks kind of like elephant ears, elephant skin. So I'm going to try to smooth out those wrinkles the best I can with my finger here. Alright, so I like those creases a little bit, so I'm going to make those a little bit deeper with my finger so it really looks like it's got a bump there. Okay, squeeze those in, push that in there, blend in that line. Alright, so you see that line there. You're just going to use your thumb or your pointer finger and just put the side of it in there so it really can make that indentation. Okay. Almost finished with this part, and then you can really get to smoothing out that elephant skin ceramic texture. Okay, we got just a couple more to blend out. If you're not going as fast as mine, that is fine. We can always pause the video. Though some of you may be way ahead, so you can go on ahead and continue. if you know what you're doing. Alright, so I think I pretty much got that to where I want it. So I just need to smooth some things out there. I also want to add the stem. So I'm going to use this tool here. I'm going to use the thicker end. If you need to use a pencil or something like that, that's fine. I'm going to poke a hole right there through the top where I want my stem to go. Okay, I'm going to open that up a little bit. Take my stem and I'm going to set it in there and just try to blend that in so it doesn't fall out. So blending, blending, blending. Blending in that stem there so it's all nice and tight in there. Alright, still have some wrinkles in here, that is fine. So let me try to smooth those out the best I can. Some of you talked to me about making your pumpkin to where you could make it into a lid, to where you could put things inside of it. So I'm going to show you what we can do to make that into, I guess you could make it like a jewelry box or something that could hold different things in it. It's a little container. Now, the way I'm going to do it, now the reason why I waited until now to do this is because I wanted the shape of the pumpkin to really fit together, okay, and to look very solid. Okay, so I'm going to take this opportunity to put my initials on the bottom. So you take your pen tool or your needle tool, you're going to flip your pumpkin over. I'd like for you to put your initials there in the bottom. I'm going to put Shields on mine because it is mine. You can just put your initials. There we go. So I got mine in there. And I'm going to flip it back over so I can really see my pumpkin. Alright. Now if you have a knife tool or your needle tool, we're going to test this out in just a moment.